Hi, good morning. My name is Naveen. So I'll start with my project. So I'll start with the content. So project 1 is about urban character dissection and collocation. Project 2 is contextual studies of urban. Project 3 is our final project, which is sequence and consequences and integration episode. So before I start everything, it's just a small background of Bukit Batajam. The Chinese people, Hozong people, came to Malaysia and settled down in Bukit Batajam. They became farmers and started a plantation at Bukit Batajam. Spices plantation became a main source of economy for the people during that time. So let's move into the first project. So at first we have to come with site synergies. We have to come with 6. So image 1 and 2 shows about the economy of the buildings in Bukit Batajam, how it's got affected based on the density of people. Like the closer you are, the buildings closer to the community they are running, and then the one that's further are actually abandoned because they have no values or what. Not so sure why. And then image 3 and 4, basically image 3 shows the culture. So they have quite vast culture in Bukit Batajam. You have the Chinese, you have the Hindu, you have the Christians, you have the Chinese. Chinese are the main culture there. And then image 4 is the ornamentation of the site itself. You have a lot of ornamentation at the site. Image 5 and 6 is basically how I look at Bukit Batajam before and after based on the interviews we did, like how the economy was before when the train was there, and then what happened when the train is not there. So task project 2, task 1, dissection and collocation. So we had to come in 4 layers. The first 3 layers is basically dissection, and then the last layer is collocation. So my layerings are basically about the way on how the timeline of Bukit Batajam, because you need to know like it's a name Bukit Batajam. Why are they doing it? They have a history for that. So the first layer is about the origins of Bukit Batajam during the spices, where everything was very clean. You have a lot of plantations going on. And then layer 2 is about the following era of Bukit Batajam. We have the war, the Japanese war. So and then the train station got destroyed during that time. And then layer 3 is the rebuild of Bukit Batajam. So basically this is where the significant booming phase of Bukit Batajam started. And then layer 4 is a collocation on the idea on what I'm trying to do is basically an idea on how to bring Bukit Batajam look when we bring back what is forgotten to the current timeline. So the next one is basically urban building strategies, conservation, master planning. So the first model is about understanding what's around the site. So we have I noticed that we have hospital, engineering workshop, public school, residential, and shop lots. So the red one indicates the site that's selected. And then model 2 shows the color coding of the programs. You have institution, the blue, residential, the red, the shop lots. And then moving on, this is basically the simple site analysis that I did. Sampah of the noise, everything. So this is our project 3, sequence and consequential intergeneration episode. So the name of my building is The Seed. So the concept is based on an overview of the past of Bukit Batajam and how the names agriculture were born. In taking the history to the present indicates the biotech organization is to central the solving problems of generational isolation. In seeking this incorporates system, the age are interrelated. Using this emphasize Bukit can separate the collapsing the city. City from collapsing. So before I start everything, we actually what we did was because we have to understand like how the mechanism works. By injecting biotech foundation spice as a main program, so you have all the spice plants and the harvesting, all these kind of things. And then at the same time, I try to create a secondary program to promote to try to find a way to solve the problem. So as you have all the things harvested, you actually have this long line, and then in the middle one, the red one is basically the Bukit Batajam NGO. So they are the one will be in charge of this building. So as they be in charge, so basically you have this whole line of production line, you go through this thing, cleaning, screening, aging, all this kind of process, and you have the end product. So in another way, you can send it out, outsource it, or you can actually bring it back into the site itself where you can use it for commercial, institution, and living. So if you look at commercial, you can use it for products, sales, and then coffee shop, cafe, all those kind of things. And then if you look at this for education side, you actually can see what you can do for research, library. You can use all these kind of things to do learning. And then at the end of the day, you actually have the social. You can solve a lot of issues, like you can improve the social, and then you can improve the economy, and then you also can improve the world situation. Then before is actually the site analysis. But the idea of concept of living space organization by this principle. because the community is gradually constantly decaying and eventually becoming a lost place. A mixture of lodging, planting, and infrastructure not only renders the city and the suburbs sufficient, but also give back a territory of plantation. It will help to create a social peace between the different people. So yeah, it's very crucial for them. So the issues you can see is we have poverty, isolation, and then the economy is quite bad. So by looking at the target group, we actually have a bigger scope of target group where you have workers, kids, elderly, tourists, students, families. So you have a very big group. So by this kind of program help to cater that. And then by having activities to improve it, so to solve the problems. So at the end of the day, you actually have this kind of possibilities what will happen. Like people will start getting knowledge, economy start improving, the place start getting better, so the world becomes better, and then okay, by the time we start getting noticed, and then the density increase, people start coming in, and then the people start developing. So you have that kind of flow, like a chain reaction to everything you do. And then this programmatic approach, so basically the location of the site is to the old station, and then the way on how I try to drag the road into the site to create this kind of circulation, that continuous circulation. And then by creating that program, which is the plantation as my primary program, so you inject the main one, and then you have the concept of how you have the roof fitting to it. And then you have all these secondary programs to actually work to one another, and then you kind of find a connection way to connect all the things together, or space together. So looking at the site, you actually have the roof plan. This is my site plan. So this is overall site plan of my design. So right now we have the basement, you have the entry, and then you have the circulation, and then you have access to the ground floor, which is one here and one here. So right now we have the ground floor plan. So this overall of my ground floor plan. Then we talk about the vehicle circulation. So you have one main entry to the basement, and then you have the drop off, and then you have two ways out. Or you can park here to use the space here, and then you have a separate space for the services place area, and you have loading bay at both sides for different purpose. And then this indicates the human circulation of the site, like how they can go around the site, and then they are quite freely, so they don't have that much of constraints. So you have always constantly understanding what's happening around, their free movement. And then this is a zooming plan. So the first one, you have the market. You have the market which sells the products, and then you have the plantation, and then you have the park, and then you have the lobby, and then you have the cafe, this side. And then moving on, you have the living space here, and then you have the plantation, and then you have the security, you have the playground, and then you have this whole stretch of production line where you have production, storage, quality, packaging, loading. So you have all these kind of things that connect in one straight line to create a flow, and then you have the unloading bay to set it off. So you have the first floor plan and second floor plan. So my first floor plan, the first floor, you actually have the retail, and then in order to connect space, you have the bridge. So in order to use that bridge well, you have a lot of plantation also going on the bridge itself. You have library, and then you have reading area, and then a soup kitchen, and then you have the herbs area also. And then moving in, you have classroom, all these kind of space that students need, class staff room, auditorium room, multiple space. Then moving on to my second floor plan, you have the office, which the top floor is basically for private area. So you have office, you have counseling room for the elderly in case they have problem, and then you have computer labs. And then moving on, you have a laboratory. So the top is basically a private area. You have the office, you have lounge area, then you have the gym room. Then moving on, you have my elevations. So what I did is I took one major elevation and tried to explain it. So as you have the accommodation right here, so you have the connection of plantation, and then you have both sides of accommodation, and then you have all these creeper green. So basically you're living like this kind of jungle illusion kind of place, but yes, instead of illusion you have plantation herbs in it. So students, lecturers, and workers can actually be using the space, and they have one common space where they can actually use it. So it creates that solve the isolation problem. And then it spread in different levels on how you play the shape of the side of the building. So you can see that different levels are cut into different layering. And then this is one of the exono I did. So you have the dispensing machine for the kids to use to encourage them, planting spot for spine, watch the storage, sitting area, and then you have an access route. So this is one of the another. So this space here is basically the picture of how the plantations around the site, and then you have a biotech, and then you have all this kind of learning space for them to use. So moving on, it's a bit laggy. Okay, so it's one of the external drawing the models with drawings I did to actually understand about the site, the flow of the site itself, like how everything works. Like you have the production, you have all these things, and then you have the laboratory. So it's actually all very connected, very close to each other. And then you have all these kind of things, living component, and a security room to take care of the security of the site. And this is the top plan where you have the auditorium, office, and then gym space, and then all this living space. So actually everyone can walk around and then experience what they can feel. And then this is the overall detail of my model I did to show the detailings of the site itself. So yeah, that's all. Thank you for your time.